Everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Lorena Acero, and welcome to this short podcast. Today, I will talk about generative linguistics, a fascinating theory that explains how humans beings are able to create and understand an unlimited number of sentences. The purpose of this episode is to explain its main concepts, shows its dimension, mention some key authors, and finally reflect on its application in real context. Okay, generative linguistics is a linguistic theory mainly developed by Noam Chomsky in the 1950s. The central idea is that language is not just a collection of learning sentences but a system of rules that allows use to generative infinitive new expression. In other words, even if we have never heard a sentence before, we can understand it thanks to the internal grammar of our minds. There are several important dimensions of generative linguistics. The first is competence versus performance. Competence is the mental knowledge of language rules, while performance is the actual use of language in communication. The second, universal grammar. This is the hypothesis that all humans are born with an innate ability to acquire language and that different languages share common principles. Third, application in language learning. The teacher and research use these ideas to understand how students acquire grammar and why they can creative sentence they have never studied before. The most important figure is Noam Chomsky, who revolutionized linguistics with his book Syntactic Structures. Other authors have explained these ideas, connecting generative linguistics to applied linguistics, teaching practice, and cognitive studies, such as Ferjok, Kubaniova, and Balkir. Let's consider a practical situation. Imagine an English learner who says she can sing very well. The error shows that the learner has applied a rule of English grammar in a creative way, even though the form is incorrect. It reflects the learner's integral grammar. This example illustrates how generative linguistics helps teachers understand that errors are not random but evidence of the learning process. Okay, they conclude generative linguistics is not only a theoretical approach, but also useful to understand the human's capacity for language. It shows us that people are not passive learners, but active creators of new sentence. This theory has created value for linguistic teachers and anyone interested in how language works. Um, Before finish, I invited you to reflect on this question. How can generative linguistics contribute to language learning and teaching in practical situations? Okay, you very much for listening to this podcast. Bye.